welcome back to another installment of NDLax TV. Ryan Camden here with Notre Dame head coach Kevin Corrigan. 2 home games in the books, 2 games that are a lot of these past 2 weeks. North Carolina and Hofstra, both of them going down to really the last play. Coach, why are these games getting so close?
You know, in North Carolina, we were fortunate to be in overtime. We were down 2 with a minute to go in the game, and so we were, very fortunate to get to overtime. But, in fairness to our guys, their execution at the end of the game was very, very good. Ours was, and our guys did a great job in keeping their poise and making plays to get us to overtime in that one. Both of us had a couple chances, and we were, fortunate to be the ones who got the first goal. Same thing against Hofstra. We came back to get it down, had the ball, a shot with about 15 seconds left, and then the ball with 10 seconds and coming in from out of bounds, and just didn't get the ball in the back of the net that time. But I would have taken one more overtime there.
Talk about execution there in the late game. How big is it? Really, that's what it comes down to, right?
Well, that's what college lacrosse is. If you look around, there's a ton of close games, and we spent a lot of time working on those end-of-game situations in practice because that's what you're going to be in over the course of the season. A lot of those. Now, did I think 3 of our first 4 games were going to end on basically the last possession of the game? No, but I think our guys have worked real hard to be good at those situations. I'd like to see us be more consistent in the first 55 minutes and maybe not have to be as good in that last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and Penn State, North Carolina, Hofstra, all coming down to the clock hit 0 pretty much. What kind of grind does that take on the guys, and what are you telling them to maybe keep their spirits up and keep the mental sharpness on point?
Well, winning the first 3 obviously helps us, stay excited about it, but it is a grind, and it does wear you down. It's an emotional toll a little bit. We knew that coming in. We opened the season with 6 straight top 20 teams, and the possibility is that 4 or 5 of those could be in the top 10 when we play them. So that's a tough way to start a season. No excuses though. Our guys know it. They knew it back in September, and we're prepared for it. I think you have to tailor your practices to it a little bit. You have to maybe look to take an extra day off here or there. Be cognizant of what the guys are going through because they're also going through midterms and those kinds of things this time of year. And none of that makes it easier. But the challenge is what it is, and I think our guys are up to it.
Coach, a lot of guys making plays, stepping up. Any surprise? I mean, Matt Cavanaugh leading the team in goals and points at this point. Any guys that have really just came out of nowhere on your radar?
Probably not out of nowhere because we've seen him for the past 6 months. But certainly Matt Cavanaugh's been a great surprise. How well he's handled things in the first 4 games of his career. We've had some guys. We've had a lot of guys making plays. Connor Doyle's come in and played really, really well here in the early part of the year. Westy Hopkins bouncing a little bit between attack and midfield is making plays for us. Our second midfield, with Ty Kimball and Steve Murphy making some plays there to kind of spread out, our scoring and our attack. So a lot of guys at that end, and then certainly at the defensive end, Brian Buglione's come in with a pleasant surprise on the starting defense. Jack Neer does a great job for us. David Miller coming in as a new short stick B-midi. So, to play with Quinn Cully, giving us a real strong group there. And I think all in all, the guys who've come in, done a really nice job of just mixing in and being guys we can rely on week to week.
It's like maybe they're developing a penchant for these late game heroics. It's kind of an identity developing. Are you all right with that for this team?
I love that fact that we can play and with that kind of poise and execution at the end of the game. Like I said, we need to get better in the first 50 minutes. We've made plays really well. I don't know if we've played really well for long stretches of time, and that's what I'd like to see us do, is just be more consistent.
The Irish are at Denver on Saturday, but don't go anywhere. Up next, we take a look at Coach's Chalkboard. It's the 6 versus 5 full field transition drill. Check it out.
The 6-on-5 adds a little bit of a different element for a couple reasons. One, obviously, you've got full midfields breaking out. So now, as you break out from this end, okay, you've got your middies breaking out, and you've got all 3 of them. So you may talk about where you want them to break as the goalie outlets the ball. Okay, on that first pass, and again, after the first one may be you can make it 6. You can put a couple extra defensemen in there, make it 6-on-5, or you can just keep it as a 6-on-3 the first time. Okay,
again, they're going to go down, play out that situation, and then after a save or a shot out of bounds or however you want to define the end of the possession, the ball's going to turn and come back. We have the goalies in both these drills with a lot of balls. And when we do get to 6-on-5, we like them to slow the drill down a little bit in terms of if they don't have the pure opportunity that we want in the transition, we want them to get to 6-on-6 and then, transition into a settled offensive set and play and do everything there. So we can extend that as long as we want to. We can say, hey, we want to make a play out of the 6-on-5, and then we're going to turn and come back real quick if a shot's taken and misses or anything. Or we can say if the ball goes out of bounds, as long as we balance the field and got the backup, we're going to keep that possession there so that you can get some 6-on-6 going into that as well. So this drill, as you can see, it goes up and down the field as well. Middies get back in the hole. Again, two deepest guys get to the hole. The other guy has to touch the cage and follow the drill. So, Gold is attacking here, 6-on-5. There's the trailer coming into the picture. They have to get in. They have to match up. The offense plays through their transition opportunity and hopefully into a settled possession if the defense does a good job. We want our guys to recognize that, hey, it looked like 6-on-5. All of a sudden, it kind of evolved into 4-on-4, a situation where we want to be really aggressive in attack. So you can get a lot of great situations out of these two drills, and these are learn by doing drills. You don't want to stop and talk too much. You just want to play, and your guys love them. They're fun, and like I say, there's some hidden conditioning in here and a lot of playmaking, and the guys enjoy these drills. So hope you can use them. Hope they're helpful to you. We like them a lot.
Well, welcome back to NDLax TV. I'm fifth-year senior Sean Rogers, and today I'm joined by senior All-American John Kemp. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Last week I was here with Coach Corrigan, and we kind of talked about some of the things that go on in our program behind the scenes that not everyone gets to see. And I just wanted to start out today and ask you a few lacrosse-related questions before getting to your personal life and your time here at Notre Dame. So John, your brother was a great player here, and before Scotty Rogers was here, you had Joey. I gotta start that up. See, this is what Coach was talking about, messing up their names, and I did it. Welcome back to NDLax TV. I'm fifth-year senior Sean Rogers, and today I'm joined by senior All-American John Kemp. John, thanks for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
As you know, last week I was here with Coach Corrigan, and we kind of talked about some of the things that go on in the program behind the scenes that not everyone gets to see. So, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today and try to get your feedback on some things that have affected you over the past 4 years. Coming in as a freshman, you were following a strong lineage of goalies. As you know, Scotty Rogers before you, and before him, your brother. So how was that for you coming in with that sort of pressure?
I wouldn't necessarily call it pressure. I think it was kind of like a pride to know that I'm coming into something that is something special and something good. I think around the country, the goalies that have gone through Notre Dame, they're known for being the top in the country. So it's definitely it's a pressure in a sense, but at the same time, it's a pride that I have. And then as far as following in the footsteps of my brother, it's definitely something to be proud of. But at the same time, kind of make my own impression on what I have for Notre Dame, what Notre Dame has to offer me. And then as far as Scotty went, I came in as a freshman. He was an All-American his junior year. He played awesome. His senior year, I kind of stepped in, learned a few things from him. Hopefully he learned a couple things from me as well. I got a couple game action throughout the season, which kind of put me forward to my sophomore year, when my first year starting as the starting goalie.
Now, speaking about your brother, Coach Corrigan had a bad habit of calling you your brother a lot, especially your first 2 years. Did that ever bother you or throw you off when he would look at you and call you Joey?
I think at that point I was kind of used to it. I went to the same high school as my brother. We played on the same teams growing up with the same coaches. Especially Mr. Giblin at Georgetown Prep, he called me Joey every day. So coming into Coach Corgan calling me Joey, it was nothing new, but at the same time, I think by now he's got it down a little bit. I think he called me Joey once in the fall maybe. but I think that's gone for now.
And speaking of Georgetown Prep, we have a lot of Georgetown Prep guys on the team.
Yep.
Between Pat Cotter, the other senior, and a bunch of younger guys. And then you add in the Jesuit Pope now, and I feel like Georgetown Prep, they're force to be reckoned with.
We're definitely making an impression on the world, especially here at Notre Dame. I think my freshman year I came in, there's probably 7 or 8 guys from Prep, but it's Notre Dame's been good to us. They've given us a good opportunity, and I think we've done what we can with it.
You have a unique nickname on the team.
Yeah.
Can you share that one for us?
A couple people have called me the Honey Badger. I think that kind of stemmed originally from Tyrann Mathieu at LSU, but at the same time that YouTube video that became so popular.
But look, the honey badger doesn't care. It's getting stung like a sap.
Just basically, it said that the honey badger don't care really. But I mean, I would say I care. I just once the goal goes in, next time around, I don't really care anymore. It's on to the next one.
One final thing that I meant to ask you is, I just went blank. Oh, sorry. What was the question I wrote down? I wrote something. They told me in the locker room to ask you. 1 second here. Okay.
What was it?
About being a senior this year versus any other year.
All right.
And finally, John, being a first-team All-American your junior year, how are things different being a senior and being a team leader?
It's definitely a little bit different. I think I wouldn't say pressure, but my understanding of what goes on the defensive end has really put me in a position to help guys on the field, especially guys who weren't really used to playing defense. Obviously, with the rule changes, a lot of middies are playing two-way. So I think my communication with that, my understanding, has really attempted to try to help guys who weren't really comfortable on the defensive end at first, but have definitely made some strides at this point. I think as a defensive unit, I do my best to, first of all, stop the ball, but at the same time, make it easier for everyone else, whether that's running out the ball, stopping the ball, coming out and getting a ground ball. It's basically just doing whatever I can to help the team win.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully next week we can get you interviewing someone.
All right, thanks, Sean.